name is Dan Reardon. The business that I have here is Rocking R Outfitters. We are hunting guides, specialize in elk and deer, bear as well. We do some turkey hunting, but the main focus of our outfitting operation is big game. This is an absolute turnkey operation, from the lodge all the way up to the ranch to the stands. I can honestly say that this ground that we have, and I've been a hunter all of my life for western big game, this ground is as good of ground as I've ever stepped foot on as far as the amount of game that's on this ranch during hunting season. Our success rate traditionally has been well above 70%. And that's when you include archery all the way through rifle. Our lodge sits at 8,100 feet. Our hunting ground climbs up to about 9,500 feet. The terrain here, we hunt a lot of oaks and a lot of aspens. The oaks tend to really attract the game. They love the acorns. They love the grass underneath the oaks because of the canopy. Terrain can be a little up and down, but for elk country, I tell our hunters it's one of the more gentle types of terrain that hold large numbers of elk. We do a lot of our hunting both spot and stock and out of stands. We have everything from ladder stands to tripods, small tripods, large tripods. We also have ground blinds. And when the conditions are right, we'll do a lot of hunting from stands. When the conditions are right to spot and stock, we'll do a lot of that. No matter what, the elk here are extremely vocal. We do a lot of calling here. The elk are extremely vocal, more vocal than any other area that I've ever hunted elk. When rifle season rolls around, we'll use some of those same stands, but then we also use a lot of our box towers. Towers that are situated pretty high off the ground, good vantage points. And same thing, we'll do some calling and some glassing, and we have good shooting lanes that we hunt those elk when they come out of their bedding areas into those open shooting lanes to feed, especially in the evenings. What is the attraction? Why is there so many elk around here? And there's a couple key things. Number one is water. The ranch has a lot of water. We have water holes all throughout the ranch, most of them spring fed. Those water holes never go dry. We have so much water on the ranch that the big game, they don't want to leave. They want to stay here because they're extremely comfortable. A private piece of ground, we can control the grazing. I control how many cows I put on there every year. We make sure we leave a lot of grass left over for the game. We border national forest, and the cattle graze up there all summer long, and we feel like a major attractor to our property is the fact that the elk can come over and stay on our place all summer long, and they don't have to leave because they have plenty to eat and plenty to drink compared to the national forest where they have a lot less to eat and a lot less to drink. Cattle grazing has been very good. We're a registered Red Angus producer. This ranch has always done very well for me as far as the amount of grass that the ranch will produce. Obviously, like we said, with the water, there's so much water. I've never had to worry about water for our cows. Never had an issue putting at least 80 pairs on the ranch from about first or second week of May. And then when you take them off is dependent on the year and dependent on the hunting. Woohoo! Another big attractant for our big game are the oaks. We have a lot of oaks. Many years we'll have some great acorn crops, and the deer and elk absolutely love the acorns. It's somewhat amazing, and in fact we'll be hunting oftentimes and we'll watch as the deer and elk browse through the oaks and literally pluck acorns off of the oaks. We have some areas where we have some pretty good pockets of choke cherries, and obviously the bears will really be attracted to that. We spend a lot of time up here with our kids. My son is 10 years old and he could guide if I would let him. He can take anybody around to every nook and cranny of this ranch. My daughter, she's 7 years old. She loves coming up here. We spend a ton of time up here.
I'm Nolan Reardon. We get to hunt and fish and do stuff outside. There's lots of elk, and it's really cool watching them come in while you're calling them in. I have a some cow calls, and they're just like the cows, and sometimes they'll track the bulls. I like to come to the ranch because you get to do like a lot more things outside instead of sitting on the couch and looking at a screen.
Lodge has enhanced our hunting operation to where it's about as comfortable as you can possibly make it for our hunters. Commercial kitchen, 4 bedrooms. Each bedroom has its own attached bathroom. Really large, great room, pool table, satellite TV, hot tub. It has everything they would possibly want. The cabin right next door to the lodge, really nice 3-bedroom cabin, extremely comfortable. We also have multiple RV hookups. A lot of people want to bring their RVs. We have our shop, we have our skinning area and our walk-in big game cooler. It's huge for us. We can get our game, we can skin them, and we can put it in our walk-in cooler. It's been a big deal for our hunters that come out here because ultimately we want to give people a great hunt, but at the same time they want to take home meat and they want to enjoy that meat. We know that that meat is going to be high quality when it hits the table. We sit at the base of the Lone Cone. That Lone Cone is an old volcano. You can hike all the way to the top. Obviously, amazing, fantastic views up there. The Lone Cone can kind of produce its own weather system. We get a lot more moisture compared to the town of Norwood, which is only about 15 miles away. There's a lot of geographical features up on the Lone Cone, and from the Lone Cone all the way down to the valley here, there's a rich history. A lot of Indian artifacts are found. We have found artifacts on our ranch. Every year, our hunting seems to just improve. 2018 was our best year ever. Not only have we constructed a lot of stands, but we've also opened a lot of shooting lanes. We've built some roads to access areas. We've put in a lot of work since we've owned this place.
My name is Greg Little with Hayden Outdoors. Today we're at the Rockin' R Ranch, Norwood, Colorado. The Rockin' R is owned by the Reardon family. Approximately 1,240 acres of some of the best managed big game hunting in Colorado to this day. I know of no ranch, particularly of this size, that carries this game density. The proximity to the National Forest in Lone Cone Mountain. This ranch has 6 water holes, several creeks that flow year-round, too many wallows and springs to account for, and also carries some of the best mule deer in the nation. The bear hunting and Merriam's turkey hunting is good as it gets as well. Very difficult to find a property of this size that can carry that kind of game. It is a tremendous balance of both the cattle management and the big game here, creating an income anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 a year. The lodge of the Rockin' R that corners up to the 1,200 acres of hunting. It's adjacent to, but far enough the hunters can enjoy late night arrival. They do not hinder the game whatsoever. The Rockin' R Lodge that we're sitting in today is uniquely positioned over Miramonte Lake, excellent state reservoir stocked with trout, both rainbow and German brown. What makes this ranch so unique is that you have over-the-counter elk tags not only for 30 days of archery season, but 2 of the 4 rifle seasons. It's traditionally 100% draw, so whether it's archery, muzzleloader, or rifle seasons, Rockin' R Ranch is going to be pretty hard to beat. It's about as good as it can get.
It's kind of bittersweet. We can come up here and hunt whenever we want, but we feel it's just time to move on. We've kind of put our heart and soul into this place, and we have so many return hunters. That's going to be hard because obviously we're going to be sad to see that go, but we just feel from a family standpoint, it's time to move on to the next thing, turn this over to somebody that will enjoy it as much as we have.